dude, I had so much fun. It is fun as F to like find a product that's hot, put it in your store, market it, and then actually get somebody to transact and buy it. You want to know how to get started with dropshipping, and you want to get started, how to get started with e-commerce. Especially the money part is interesting. So I ran two e-commerce stores, two Shopify stores. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just doing my agency and I'm doing my online academy. But the key to e-commerce, I'm telling you right now, you told me you were afraid that you might fail, right? Let me tell you something, brother. There isn't a night that goes by where I don't change something on my website. Whether it's a picture, whether it's text, whether it's copywriting, whether it's a video, whether it's a testimonial, whether it's a new link, a backlink. I mean, it's a never-ending game. And there isn't one person who's ever been successful on planet Earth who has not failed. You know, I think there's a quote like 90% of businesses fail, you know, in the history of business. 90% of businesses fail, right? That's not to scare you. That's not to deter you. I think the true stat is 90% of businesses fail because people quit. It's not because of, they allowed failure. This is about perspective. They allowed failure to define them, right? I mean, Thomas Edison, the great inventor, he invented this. You know how many times he failed before he finally found the right filament to fill the incandescent light bulb? I mean, it was like thousands of times he failed. So failure is inevitable. Let me just tell you this. You're gonna fail a million. I actually think it's much easier to sell products and services online than it is in real life. I actually think it's easier to sell physical products than it is services. I was getting much more success running Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and Google AdWords, now it's called Google Ads, with physical products with these stores, way easier than it is to sell my services, executive career coaching, personal branding, right? It's trial and error. I went to the University of YouTube, and I watched every YouTube video you can imagine. This was like 5-10 years ago, right? And I still do. I still watch a lot of videos on Google and YouTube. I still try to keep abreast of the e-commerce experts. I even bought a course on e-commerce mastery and all that stuff, right? I invested a lot of money into it. I don't think you need a lot of capital. I don't think you need, the beautiful thing about dropshipping is you really don't need a lot of money because you're not holding inventory. Yeah. Does that make sense? So you're getting inventory from these other websites, right? Your each purchase is based on a purchase order, a real purchase order. It's not based on if you have it or not, if it's in stock. So there's really not a lot of risk with dropshipping. It's a great way to practice. You might eventually end up doing private label, doing your own product or what have you. But I think this is a great way to start. So how do you get started? You get started by just finally bucking up. Forget the idea of not ever failing. You're gonna fail, but do something with failure. Don't let failure define you. Don't let failure make you quit. Just do something with it. Learn from it. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try this. Okay, this didn't work. Let me try this. The reason that 90% of businesses fail is because people quit, not because they don't have a good idea or not because they're not equipped to handle it or execute it. It's because they're not seeing results fast enough. They tried Facebook ads once and they quit, which is like insane. Like, you know how many times I had to learn the back end of Facebook Ads Manager and the different objectives and the different campaigns, and all this stuff is gonna sound complicated, right? Like drop shipping, fulfillment, ordering, website creation, branding, marketing, advertising, Facebook, mechanics, Ads Manager, all that stuff sounds complicated, but it's not. I wanna make this very, very clear. It all sounds complicating, but I promise you with every fiber of my being, it's not. You just have to sit down. You know what the hardest thing about creating a business is? Just sitting down and doing it. That's the hardest thing. So you've already decided, Like this dude inside your head, which I talk about a lot on my channel all the time, this dude inside your head has already convinced you, why are you doing this, dude? Who do you think you are to start an e-commerce business? What did you tell me 2 minutes ago? You said nobody in your family's ever what?
They've never owned a business or ran a business before.
You know how many times I've heard that before? 1,000,006 times. You know how many people have gone on to create successful businesses with my coaching? A lot of them, most of them. Because I tried to really give them the framework, which it starts with this, and then the rest is in your hands. It starts with this, and the rest is in your hands. I mean, literally in your hands, like the laptop, the freaking, because we're all laptop warriors now.
Yeah.
The whole world is like, business is laptop, you're a laptop, samurai. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get out of your head and just do. And here, I'm going to save you the suspense. You want to know if you're going to fail or not? You're going to fail. But guess what? Failure don't mean jack. Failure doesn't mean jack. So you just got to keep doing it. You just got to keep trying it, keep tweaking it, learn this. Why isn't this working? Why isn't that working? I've had serious thoughts about getting back into, revamping. I still pay Shopify $14 a month to keep my shop. It's asleep right now, like nobody can buy anything from it, but I still pay Shopify $14 a month to keep it just at least alive. It's not dead, but the store is paused right now. So, and you'll know what that means when you get into Shopify.
If you don't mind the question,
please.
What kind of stuff are you selling, or what?
I was doing like an everything store. Okay. Now there's two schools of thought. Yeah, there's two schools because I had so much fun. It is fun as F to like find a product that's hot, put it in your store, market it, and then actually get somebody to transact and buy it.
Yeah.
But the problem was, and this is something that you might face, the problem with dropshipping is the products are usually low quality.
Yeah.
I don't know, that might have changed. The last time I actually ran an e-commerce store by myself and ran a couple of e-commerce stores for clients was like 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago. Things might have changed by then. I always wondered why, and if Shopify, if you're watching this, please, I've always wondered why they don't do like an AliExpress for the US. Why wouldn't they create an AliExpress type of shop for the US? If there is one, I apologize, maybe I don't know. Maybe there is an AliExpress. Do you guys know what AliExpress is or Alibaba?
Yeah,
why isn't there one in the US? Is it just because of shipping and manufacturing and cost? Yeah. I mean, that makes sense, but this is a beautiful example. This is a beautiful metaphor. Most of these companies, they're most people that fail, like really fail, not like just fail because they think they fail. Most of the reason that these people fail is because they're only thinking they want that immediate instant gratification. Business doesn't work that way. If you want to build a business, you should think about building a brand.
Yeah.
What do I mean by building a brand? Building a brand takes a lot of time. I can't tell you how many content creators I've worked with. I can't tell you how many businesses and brands I've worked with. They're they're warped perspective. They think that all they need to do is put up a website, buy a domain name, throw some crappy products on their page, and they should be making $10,000, $20,000 a month. It just doesn't work that way. It's just like starting a coaching business. You can't just start a coaching or services business, put up a fancy LinkedIn profile or put up a YouTube channel, and everything's just going to watch the money start pouring in. It takes time. It takes learning. It takes mastering your craft. It takes understanding more about the mechanics of business, the mechanics of e-commerce, the science and art of e-commerce than anybody else in your company. You should know more than everybody first. You should start from the dirt level, but I'm telling you right now, dude, this is the best time to do it. The only thing stopping you is this guy. I call him the eternal doubter. It's that one dude inside your head who's telling you, who do you think you are? You don't come from that background. You're not this, you're not that. These people aren't like you. Who do you think you are? You can't do this. You're gonna fail. You suck. It's that guy. And this goes for everything, not just e-commerce, literally everything. It starts in here. What does the dude inside your chest say? Not the dude inside your head. What's the dude, I mean, honestly, we're just rapping here. Like, what's the dude inside your chest say?
Tell them to just do it. But then once when I sit down and I'm like there, I'm just like, I think about it. And I think the moment where I start to think about it is the moment that I start doubting myself.
Yeah.
So
because once that thought creeps in there, then it makes you get entangled. You get entangled in it with your attention. You get entangled in that. Don't ever forget this too. A thought cannot have power unless you give it attention. You energize it with your attention. So thoughts come and go. You have 1 trillion thoughts a day practically, right? I mean, not literally, but practically. Which ones stick? The ones that stick are the ones that you give attention to. So the next time that dude comes in, just be like, cool, I'm not gonna listen to you. You can bark all day, but your bark is a hell of a lot worse than your bite. As a matter of fact, his bite is an imposter. It's an apparition. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't have kids, right? No. You're young. How old are you?
23.
You're 23 years old. You don't have kids. You don't have a mortgage, right? I'm assuming. You don't have a wife, I'm assuming, or husband, or whatever you're into. I don't care. Poor dude. He's like, wait a minute. I mean, it's cool with me. I don't care what you're into. I mean, to each his own. Dude, fail as much as you can. With drop shipping and e-commerce, you don't need a ton of capital. You will need money to do advertising. Yeah. But you could get away with $15 a day. You could get away with even $5 a day ads. Now, let me backtrack that. You can do $5 ads a day, and if you don't get a sale within 2 to 3 days, you just cancel the campaign. I would say $5 ads a day are myths, and Facebook is becoming increasingly more expensive. And I think Facebook and Instagram and Google are where you need to go. Those are just the 3 hottest products. Mm-hmm. LinkedIn for e-commerce, I don't think it's been a proven as of this kind of time period we're in. You know, summer of 2019, I haven't seen it present itself as a proven concept yet. Mm-hmm. I know Reddit ads are kind of interesting, but I don't want to confuse you, and I don't want to confuse. When you're just starting out, you need to go where the bread and butter is. The bread and butter is Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, the bread and butter is Instagram, Facebook, and I would say Google ads. And where do you go to learn how to do that? The beautiful university of Google and YouTube. Yeah, you just Google, how do I create a Facebook ad? How do I start? You could even Google, how do I start an e-commerce store? Yeah. That might be the title of this, video. This video is going to go on my channel because I think it's super helpful. I'm serious, dude. Please promise me, just do it and keep me posted. Message me, DM me on LinkedIn or on Instagram or whatever. You have my email even too. My main email. This goes for anybody. Leave in the comments down below. Let me know if this helped you, if this inspired you, and if you want to reach out to me, Nez@ProfessorNez.com. Nez@ProfessorNez.com. There'll be a little, graphic down there below. Dude, you need to do it. You need to start it. And so how you get started is, I'm just telling you the sort of bigger picture, like this. Now the finite, the tangibles, and the details. Obviously, you need to create a website, right? You need to buy a domain name. You need to figure out what you want to sell. And you're saying you might want to do an everything kind of type store?
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Now, the only reason that I've done an everything store, and you might want to research this, again, the University of YouTube and Google, the reason that I did an everything store is because I felt like I wanted to focus on proven products. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel. So what does that mean? I would research what are the hottest products out there, and I'd put them in my shop. I'd look at my competitors. This is competitive market analysis. This is real world stuff. Look at shops that are successful. Look at what they're doing, even their colors, their brand, their product page, their home page, their about page, like literally everything. And I'm not saying like copy paste, but just use that for inspiration. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, okay, I'll create something like that because that's what I want to do. And the reason that I wanted to create an everything store, but I've heard a lot of different varying opinions on this. I've heard other people say, no, that's the wrong way to do it. You want to create a niche store, niche it down as much as possible. I personally, I was successful with an everything store. And my whole thing was, I'm not in there to have a unique dog store or have a unique fish and bait kind of store or whatever like that. I wanted a store where I wanted to get the hottest products that had a proven track record, had a proven history of being profitable, and those are the products I put in my store. And those are the products I recommended to my clients. So for me, it was about making money. For me, it wasn't about like fame or being cool or having a cool logo. For me, it was about making money, conversions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I want to use the products that work. Like whoever like did a Shopify store just for fidget spinners when that shit was hot.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much money they made? They made millions. So the next hot product is right around the corner. You got to do your due diligence. You got to research the F out of all of these products and find out from the store. There's so many ways. Just Google this stuff, YouTube this stuff. There's so many ways that you can research stores and research e-commerce shops and research products. There's so many ways. There's so many cool little hacks and tactics and details that you can research all this stuff. And then just find those products. Even like I know the main kind of fulfillment plugins like Oberlo. I don't know if you've heard of Oberlo.
Yeah.
Like Oberlo is one of the main plugins, and there's a couple other ones I think, but Oberlo for Shopify, they really kind of are integrated well together. I think they even have like their best, even Alibaba and AliExpress, they have like if you click on bestsellers, or you go on the competitors' websites, and they have a page called bestsellers, and you just emulate those products. Maybe even put those same exact products in there. Just put your own unique copywriting and your own unique brand and colors. Dude, that's a great way to start. And then run Facebook ads targeting people. Like if it's a purse, you probably don't want to target 18 to 35-year-old men who are into UFC, right? Mm-hmm. Or you might want to target though, men who make a certain amount of income because they might want to buy like Mother's Day is coming up, right? So a good ad campaign might be to 35 to 55-year-olds who make $100,000 to $150,000 a year. Advertise these specials for Mother's Day, your product, right? Like to me, that stuff is so much fun. If that's fun for you, if that's something that like gets you excited, like I want to do a Halloween sale, I want to do a summer bikini sale, like that shit like makes me really jazzed up. That's when you know you're meant to do when it gets you really just. I don't like the whole philosophy of follow your dreams and butterflies and lizards and unicorns and all that crap. I don't know where lizards came from. Like I hate those bumper stickers, but if it's something to where it just gets you so jazzed, it zaps your bones with electricity, do that. And what zaps my bones with electricity is the ability to understand human behavior, influence human behavior, and be able to create economic freedom for myself. That's my beautiful, that stuff gets me cooked. Because it's really 21st century communications. It's pathos, it's Aristotle. It's the ability to use words, images, right? And copywriting to influence behavior. It's a powerful thing, right? It's a really cool thing actually. And you can use that for good or bad, obviously. I'm not gonna get into a moral dilemma. But, I'm not forcing people to buy anything. I'm giving them the opportunity. Plus, there's going to be other 23-year-olds out there creating there's 18-year-olds right now, dude, that are doing Shopify and they're making $100K in revenue a month. In revenue, not net profit, but in revenue. Probably net profit, maybe $60,000. How would you like to make $50,000 a year? I mean, a year, a month. I mean, how crazy would that be? There's 18-year-olds doing this right now. So get started. How do you get started with e-commerce? How do you get started with Shopify? I would say you need to look at what it is, decide what kind of products you want to sell, decide what you want to, really spend most of your time on, because this is a lot of time. It's a lot of your energy, right? But it's highly, highly worth it. And then look at competitors, look at what they're doing, research, find out what the best products are, find out if they fit and align with what you're doing, figure out how to get attention, Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, Google AdWords, maybe Reddit, Twitter, I don't know. I would start with the big three, Instagram, Facebook, and Google. And then fail as much as you can. It's okay. Fail as much as you can. There's nothing wrong with failure because you're going to learn. You're going to get, I promise you this, with every fiber of my being, you're going to get better and better and better, just like I did. Everybody starts with absolutely zero knowledge. The difference between the people who are successful and are not, they didn't quit. They didn't let failure define them. It's okay to fail. I want you to promise me you're going to at least try to do it, please. Can you promise me on the record? I'm kidding. I don't want to put too much pressure on. But I'm serious, man. Like, I want you to do it and keep in touch with me. All you need to do is Google how to create a Facebook ad, how to create an Instagram ad. It'll take you, literally there's tons of tutorials that you'll find a bunch of valuable information. I did it, everybody else did it. And then when you become the Facebook ads expert, here's the cool thing about going into business is things change all the time. You might not want to do apparel. You may not want to do e-commerce, right? Yeah. You might want to start a social media marketing agency in 5 years. Be like, I really love the marketing side of it. I really love the Instagram side of it. I like the Facebook side of it. I like the digital side of it. I like the branding side of it. You might change your business. But get that engine cooking. Get the ball rolling, you know what I mean? Because 23 with no strings, that's a no-brainer. You need to start like yesterday. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any other questions or anything? Is it still recording?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Any other questions or anything like that? What were your questions? Maybe you want to stick around and maybe hear what he has to say?
Yeah.
What was your, was it related? Did I help you at all with that?
Yeah. Is it the spot like Shopify and there's some other websites, or we should create our own website?
Well, Shopify is just an easier way to create a website. It's still your website. And I would definitely, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to pay. This is the little stuff, but there's a way of paying it forward. You know how it says powered by Shopify at the bottom or something like that? There's a way of paying to get rid of that watermark. It's like a watermark. But it's still a website. Whether you create it on your own or you go through Shopify, it's not Shopify. It's just Shopify. You know what Shopify does? Shopify makes it easy for people who are not website designers. Yeah. Literally, they walk you through. Here's your banner. Here's your about page. There's colors. You know what I mean? This is how you can put your products there.
Our product won't be listed.
Yeah, exactly. They give you a template.
The product won't be listed on like Shopify, like eBay.
No, Shopify is not a marketplace. It's not like eBay. No. Shopify is just it's a software service. That's all it is. It's literally just a SaaS, I think, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's just a service that's provided to you to help you create an e-commerce store for yourself. You're still the owner. It's still your product. But it's not like eBay or Amazon. You put it on Amazon and you get Amazon's marketing engine, which would be killer. But you can do Amazon FBA, fulfillment by Amazon. I've never done Amazon FBA, but I've wanted to try it. I don't have the time, I don't have the energy to do it right now.
Is it good to do?
Time more than anything. I would love to do it. Do you know anything about Amazon FBA?
I've looked into it.
You can Google the crap out of it. There's amazing ways of becoming a seller on Amazon and using the Amazon engine, the unbelievable brand of Amazon, to do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah. But they also bring a lot of costs.
I didn't know that. I don't know that much about it. I have to do more research on it. I can't do this isn't a video about Amazon FBA. I wouldn't, but I know that that's a viable option to make money online.
So is it
a more viable option to use, well, maybe not more viable, but another great viable option for making money on Amazon is affiliate marketing. Yeah. So, but that's a whole nother,
So is it good to put your products on Amazon and eBay besides your website?
It's a good starting point.
It's a good starting point.
Depending on what you're doing.
Yeah. What would you say? I'm curious.
I've done a lot of research, and it's like if you're trying to do like private label, and there's a little difficult because you have so much competition. So it's going to require more money in advertising and all these other costs, and also like Amazon charges like a fee, pretty much.
Yeah, but you know what though? Like, I would say if you're not desperate, if you're not in a desperate situation, and like you guys are young, how old are you?
25.
So you guys are young. Notice how I haven't used your names at all in this video, which they won't be used in the video. So I want you to feel comfortable. It's more than, but if you're young and you don't have, like 25, how old are you again?
23.
23, so 25 and 23, so jealous of you guys, I love it. I'm so proud of you guys if you do this. If you think longevity, then you should do your own thing. Don't worry, because I almost feel like doing the Amazon thing and doing the eBay thing is like a quick rich bullshit thing, which it is. But if you do the longevity thing, which is you are in this to create your own business and brand, then definitely do your own thing. Shopify just helps you create it faster, but it doesn't do the work for you. It's still your business, your brand. But what Shopify does is it integrates a lot of apps. It integrates a lot of like beautiful marketing kind of integrations and pop-ups and things that are really easy that you could probably still do on your own, but it just makes it easier. The text, basically Shopify takes care of the tech side of a lot of the, it put a lot of website designers out of business. I mean, I'm sure even Squarespace, which is what my website is on. I mean, it took a lot of, people used to charge thousands and thousands of dollars to create a website. They still do. But you can do it now with all these easy softwares. And so, if it really depends on what your mission is. What's your strategy? Like, what do you want to, you want to create a brand, or you just want to like make money quick?
I want to right now make money quick and eventually make my brand.
You could maybe do both. You could create maybe a Shopify store for just like experimentation. I did this before, and I don't know if this is the right thing or wrong thing to do, but I had a Shopify store where I just experimented and just effed around and tried all sorts of crap just to get familiar. And then I had the Shopify store, which was my brand and my business, where I could implement all the failures and trials and errors. I could put that in the real brand. You might want to do both. I still made money with that trial and error Shopify store. I still made a lot of money with that one. But my business and brand was something that I was looking for, that sort of reputation and that ethos. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you could do both. You can make quick money and you can build something. I would say it's if you're not somebody who, I was really desperate to get out of education. When I say education, here I am, we're sitting in class. I still teach, but I have 2 successful businesses. But it's a beautiful feeling to say, if the university wants to come down on me and try to put a glass ceiling on me, or try to suppress what I want to teach and how I want to teach, I can tell them to F off, which is a beautiful feeling. And I love that feeling, right? Like, how good would it feel to not have to listen to your boss? And like, if your boss came and gave you S one day, you could just say, good, I'm out of here later, bro. I'm good. Like, if somebody came in right now and said, you're done at this university, I'd be like, all right, later. I'm chill with that, right? Obviously, I don't want that to happen. And well, then Nez, why do you still teach at the university? Funny you ask, because the pay is crap, right? The bureaucracy is a living nightmare because of this. That's the truth. I know it sounds kind of mushy and BS, but literally I love connecting with you guys. I love helping you guys. I'm a natural-born coach. I'm a natural-born teacher. My father was a professor. My grandfather was a teacher. It's in my blood. It's in my DNA. It gets me more excited than anything to have these kinds of conversations with people and share what I've been able to learn. Especially the anxiety and depression I went through, which is what I really talk a lot about on my channel, as well as branding, because it starts with your mindset. You know what I mean? So you might want to do both, maybe. I hope that answers your question. Yeah.